Hey everyone, this is Corey with Stafford's EDC, and let's do a little overview here of a Divo Knives prototype. Now, this one doesn't have an exact schedule for release or anything yet, and this is just a prototype. Things are changing about this. I don't have any exact specs for things that are changing here. I do believe that the front flipper is getting enlarged, which we'll get to in a little bit, and detent will be, make sure that it's money, that it's absolutely great. And I do know that this blue, I think it's Arctic Fat Carbon, I'm not very familiar with the Fat Carbon names, will be one of the handle options. There was a conversation about that in the one knife YouTube unboxing group, and we convinced Kevin that he needed to keep these because I believe all the prototypes came with this, and they weren't going to include it on the production run. And it was like, hey, if you're showing everybody this blue one, why would you not sell it? So this will be a handle option for you guys when you want to purchase one of these. And I realize I haven't said the name yet. This is the Divo Knives Lush. Now, if you've seen my video on the Divo Knives Barley, which is coming out with Urban EDC, so it's an Urban EDC Barley designed by Divo Knives, however they want to word that. This is extremely similar in design. Now, I don't have the Barley on hand, but I think if you've seen both, you can really see the similarities between the two. I think the slip joint was designed first, the Barley, and then they had the idea to take that and bring it into a, in this case, bolster lock design with a front flipper on it. So ergonomically speaking, it's very similar. It's very neutral, wants to sit forward in the hand. You have jimping, you have this fuller here for flicking, as well as the front flipper, of course. Action is really good on these, as I drop the knife off the table. These are going to be made by Concept Knives. I believe that's correct information. I'm sure Kevin will correct me if I'm wrong. And if I am wrong, I will put something either in a pinned comment or in the description. You can see the centering's dead on. Wire pocket clip, so these will be able to fit Lynch replacement clips when all is said and done. And yeah, let's just talk a little bit about it. Cutting with it, it was great. This has a, believe it's a flat grind. Nope, it looks like a hollow grind. It's just a quite shallow hollow grind. It gets thin, but not crazy thin behind the edge, but it's very much a utilitarian style blade shape here. This forward choil always allows for the middle finger to wrap right here, and you get your pointer finger right up on that tip, and you can do great detailed work. Great drag cuts, no issues with anything like that there. And I know Colin and Kevin both love doing that with their knives, so it's not surprising to see that integrated into this design. You have a double bolster here, which is a great look, with your inlays over the top, or overlays, I guess, in this case, because it's not inlaid into the handle. There will be multiple fat carbon options, and I don't know what other materials they may be using, but fat carbon for sure will be available. This is, of course, on bearings. There's a steel lock insert, which you can see right there. You can see the screw that attaches that guy, which you can't even see on this angle, but it's in there. You might be able to see the line right in front of my finger there. So steel lock on a titanium liner. Otherwise, or I guess it's a frame. I'm not really sure how to classify bolster locks exactly. I guess it's like a frame lock that's covered. So titanium framework with a steel insert, which is great to see. Like I said, action's nice and good. Front flipping action is pretty good. The increased size of the front flipper is going to make a huge difference on these and make them a lot easier to front flip, because you can do the reach around kind of thing, and you can bic lighter it over the top. But until I got used to this, it took me some time to get this open. Not that I couldn't flick it or anything like that, but it did take a little bit of a learning curve, getting used to the size of that front flipper, kind of the way everything's oriented. There's not a whole lot of distance between the pivot and this front flipper, and the jimping ends there opposed to up here. So there's a few little things that make it slightly harder to open than otherwise, but that is going to be corrected in the final version. And then you have this fuller, of course, which you can thumb flick or you can reverse flick. No problem. Now, something with fullers especially, now we're going to talk about leverage here slightly. Briefly is what I mean, not slightly. As you get further away from a pivot point, so as you get further down this, it takes far less effort to move this entire lever than it does from somewhere up here. So keep that in mind when you're deploying this knife. Just because you can reach the fuller where the cutout is for the thumb, the detent's always going to be great. But if you go down here all the way to the bottom, you can kind of miss that flick if you're not careful, because you have way more strength down at this end, and it takes way less strength to actually move this lever, so to speak, than it does up here. So therefore the detent's going to feel a lot weaker down at the bottom. You can hear how that sounded when it deployed. I'll be quiet for a second so you can hear it. See, I even missed it. Versus coming up top, you can tell it really fires out up top. So tuning the detent on these is something that I'm sure Kevin will be on them about, because he is the detent diva, and I wish I had a sticker handy because I'd absolutely put one down. He might still have those available on his Teespring store, so you might want to check that out. But yeah, this is the Divo Knives Lush, and besides those very minor changes, this is what you're going to be getting. I believe they're shooting for late summer, early fall on this one. Don't quote me on that, but I believe that's the plan. If you're going to be at Blade Show, these are going to be not available to purchase, but you can check these out while you're there, as well as the Growler V2 right here. And there's also going to be the Divo Knives Nip there as well. Something I don't have on hand at the moment, but that will be available to handle at Blade Show as well, so you can get an idea of some of the new models coming from Divo. That's it today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're excited for the Lush, because it's going to be a good one. And yeah, that's all I have to say about it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and then I hope you have a great rest of your day. Take care.